Hey everybody, Craig Howie here of Howie Guitars, and we're moving on to day 3 of the mobile lab build for the St. Vrain Valley School District. And today what we're going to try to accomplish is the beginnings of the fretboard. So what you see here that has all the frets on it, and then all of the neck, getting the neck prepped for all of this carve here. So here we go. Okay, here's your fretboard blank. We're going to start with a nice piece of ebony here. It has a nice blonde streak in it. The deck is all set. It shows where the fretboard goes and the center line and everything. Okay, I'm going to screw it down this time and double stick tape it. It needs to be super secure. Alright, let's talk about radius here. If you have a cylinder and we're going to cut the fretboard out of the top of a cylinder, it's going to have a curve on it. It's going to have a radius. And that's what we want. In this case, we're carving the radius at about 12 inches. Next, we're going to carve the holes for the inlays. For the inlays, we're going to use mother of pearl slabs, and this time they're pre-cut into nice circles for us. Alright, here I go knocking them in with a piece of metal. I got them super tight so they fit really secure. Even though they're secure, I'm going to go ahead and cyanoacrylate glue them in. Make sure they're in there for good. So it's kind of ugly now, but now we're going to go back and re-radius the board really clean this time. Here it is going at the radius again with a nice clean angle this time, and it's going to go back the other way with a different angle to make it super clean. So there you go. It's ready to be sanded down. I'm just going to pre-sand it here, try to get the grooves out, and then here we go cutting the fret lines with a really small 0.5 millimeter bit. There's the finished product ready to come off the board. I'm going to use a chisel and go underneath the MDF here so I don't scratch up the board to get it off. There you go, ready to be put on. First thing we've got to do though is we've got to find the exact center of each edge. This is super important for gluing it on. Okay, once I have it marked with a pencil, I'm actually going to score it with an X-Acto knife. It's easier to see when you glue it on. Okay, now we got to tape up the board. This is going to protect the top of the board from all the glue that goes on when you attach it to the neck. Let's get nice and taped up here. Alright, onto the neck. Here's the neck blank, ready to be planed on each side. Okay, we're planing it down here with the 0.75 bit. Now we do a center line. This is really important for later. Okay, gonna secure it down. This is squaring the back of the neck, the tail end of the neck. This is gonna help us cut the tongue and groove joint later. This is carving the peg head angle. And finally we're going to carve the truss rod groove. More on the truss rod later. Making sure the truss rod fits nice and clean, looking good. Alright, there it is. Now we're going to move on and cut the tongue and groove joint, but first we got to have a jig. This is going to hold the neck at a certain angle for us. The neck's got to have a certain angle to work well with the geometry of the guitar. So I'm setting it up to be carved right at a 3.85 degree angle. There it is, carving the tongue. And there you go, the tongue's carved at a 3.85 degree angle. Okay, gonna put the truss rod in. Got the glue going in. Gluing it in good there. And then I'm gonna protect it from wood glue with a nice piece of super thin frog tape. Getting it so it goes underneath the board there. Getting rid of the excess tape. Alright, there's those important center lines. That's going to help us find the center lines on the fretboard, and we can glue it on nice and perfect. Okay, gluing on the fretboard's a little bit of a frantic process because you got to get it all on before the glue sets and get it nice and centered. So here we go. Lots of adjusting and readjusting and getting rid of glue, making sure the clamps are perfectly tight, not pulling the fretboard one side or the other. And there we go, all clamped up, and we're all done with day 3.